The lore of every Forsaken killer. Welcome back to another one, y'all boys. Look, I'm not gonna lie, I can't edit today because I'm just so off track and off. Yeah, I'm just off track, bro. I ain't gonna lie. I don't want to elaborate on it no more. But the lore of every Forsaken killer. Yeah, bro. This is by Flush. It took him long enough to do this because he did the lore for every survivor. So it took him a while to get to around to these killers. But I think by this point, I pretty much know every killer and their lore. I'm not gonna say I'm a Forsaken nerd, but I know a good amount. But let's check it out.
Forsaken is the afterlife where the survivors must stay alive while being hunted. Once the timer ends, the survivors get a quick break and then must do this over and over again. Today, we're going to look at these hunters, aka the killers in this game, to see if they're actually all that evil, or they have just been wronged and
Nah, they've been wronged. They're a little misunderstood, but all in all, personally, I say, yeah, they're evil.
now only want revenge. First up, Cool Kid. So Cool Kid
Definitely
is actually
evil.
based on the real-life Cool Kid exploiter group, in which they would hack many Roblox games like Work at a Pizza Place. But in the world of Forsaken, Cool Kid is just one person, a person with a dark history. Yet, so Cool Kid's description reads, an adopted son from a single father with a childlike curiosity, but with the strength of a monster. Yeah, if you didn't know, Cool Kid is actually 10 years old. He appears as a red, flesh-like humanoid that can kill fast and traverse fast. He is known for his associations with a vandalization group called Team Cool Kid. Yeah, so Cool Kid's history starts off with him being adopted by 007 and 7 after Cool Kid was left on his doorstep due to having a skin condition. Yeah, if you didn't know, 007 and 7 would actually give up his life of crime to try and be a good father to Cool Kid.
I know he like what he did with Nullie, and then he kind of turned his back on Nullie, or Nullie turned his back on him. I don't know which way it went.
But that wouldn't last very long because Cool Kid would eventually find 007 and 7's old hacking devices and use them to cause havoc. A lot of the times he would cause a lot of damage to Builder Brothers Pizza, which is a reference to Cool Kid in real life always hacking Work at a Pizza Place. Yeah, you could even see in the background Elliot being distressed over there. Yeah, because of all the damage
Yeah,
done
bro is even shooting a rocket into the
to
wall.
the
Like
pizza
what?
place, Cool Kid and 7 and 7 would eventually get blacklisted from the building, but not only that, at some point Cool Kid would go missing, with 7 and 7 trying to find him. Unfortunately though, he didn't succeed, and
He was also
eventually 7 and
blacklisted.
7 would and wake up in the world of Forsaken. But there, also in the world, was Cool Kid. We're unsure as to how he got here as of now. We do know that the world of Forsaken is some sort of purgatory, aka the afterlife that's run by the mysterious Spectre. Another thing about Cool Kid is that he's actually only 10 years old and is unaware of all his actions. Yet he thinks when he defeats people that they're just sleeping or are tired from playing. Cool Kid also has a unique animation with 7 and 7 where when he kills him, he gently places him down instead of the usual animation where he just tosses them.
I didn't even know that.
Also has a unique voice line with the survivor Elliot, in which when he defeats him, he says this. Again,
Yeah, how did
hinting at
Elliot?
how he used to
Wait,
cause
yeah, I know.
destruction in the pizza place. Another cool thing is when 7 and 7 is the last man standing and Cool Kid is the killer, a song known as Plead will actually start playing. Another sad thing about 7 and 7 is that he's not liked by most of the survivors in the world of Forsaken. This is because he revealed the truth about him and Cool Kid, and thus they often ignore him now.
Yeah, I was about to say that. I mean, that makes sense. They wouldn't trust him because that's literally his kid.
One by one.
Trying to
a
kill
lot of
them.
his lore can actually be read through his description, the physical manifestation of pure malice, hatred, and negativity himself. The one who despises no one else more than the former admin Shiletsky. With the daemon shank in his hands, he can summon beings of rot from the deceased, as well as target survivors from afar, poisoning them in the process. Yet, so in real life, 1 by 1 was actually an urban legend that, yeah, was actually made by the real.
Yeah, somebody hit me up. It was like I found 1x real account. I was like, man, keep me away from all of that.
Roblox employee Shiletsky as a joke. It was revealed here in this post by Mr. Doombringer, in which it was called The Real Story Behind 1 by 1. It details how Shiletsky mentions the evil 1 by 1. Again, this was all purely a joke, but in the world of Forsaken, he's actually
real.
the physical
That makes sense.
manifestation of hatred. Yeah, like even in his attack moves right here, like Mass Infection, it says blame blank Roblox admin. Yeah, again, this is
Blame
referring to the
Shaletsky.
Mr. Doombringer post where it says blame John. If Shaletsky is the only survivor left and 1x1 is the killer, the song Creation of Hatred will start playing. Yeah,
That song's
in the world
about-
of Forsaken, Shaletsky hasn't told anyone that 1x1 is his own creation. This is because he's afraid the other survivors will abandon him and
Just like
ignore him,
07.
just like what they did with 7 and 7. But yeah, now 1x1 is after Shaletsky and all the other survivors in this never-ending game. John Doe. So John Doe's
They're all yours,
description
Mr. Doe.
reads, the defunct code of the early days of Roblox courses through their body, consuming his mind as he now only focuses on one thing, to kill everyone in his path. Yet, so John Doe is actually inspired off of a very popular Roblox myth where a lot of people believed that he was going to hack all of Roblox on March 18th, 2017. Yeah, there's a lot of people saying things like, don't play Roblox on March 18th.
I remember hearing
nothing
something
actually
like that.
ended up happening, but in the world of Forsaken, if you do play the game on that exact date, March 18th, and you play as John Doe, his stats will be bumped up to a crazy amount. Yeah, his health is now
What?
318 in 2020.
Oh my God, did you say bless you? Thank you. If not, F you.
5. His regular speed is 11,318. Yeah, and not only that, John Doe now looks like this monstrosity over here with the text saying, dude, I told you not to play on March 18th. Now, again, in the world of Forsaken, John Doe is actually a real person. Yeah, he's actually married to Jane Doe, but then something happened where a defunct code would end up corrupting John Doe into this weird creature. He now doesn't recognize anybody, like not even Jane Doe. He still has
That's actually
feelings
kinda
towards
sad.
her, but the Spectre made sure to block away those feelings. A fun fact though is that giant arm that John Doe has, he doesn't even use it because of how heavy and inconvenient it is. Another fun fact is that Cool Kid is actually scared of John Doe. This
What?
is because his father 7 and 7 would tell him stories of the evil, corrupt John Doe. Now, as for John Doe's appearance, it's actually
Ooh.
based off of this old script in which it would just kind of jump scare into looking like this monstrosity here. Yeah, funny enough, John Doe's original design in Forsaken was supposed to look like this. I'm glad they changed it though. And as for his
that
wife
should be a
Jane
skin.
Doe, she's actually going to become a survivor in the near future. Hopefully she'll be able to get him to have a change of heart. Jason. So this is the same Jason from the movie series Friday the 13th.
So my whole thing is like, what's stopping them from playing Jane Doe in the game, bruh? I feel like they should release character every month. You know what I'm saying? Something like that every 2 months. Bro, so how long? Yo, y'all know better than me. Somebody timestamp 6:15. How long did it take Nullie to drop? Like actually, from when he was released. Well, never mind. Nulie's a re-release, right? A rework. Jeez.
Now, his skin is actually based off of the Roblox game Survive and Kill the Killers in Area 51, which is an old game from 2014. And his description reads, a man whose identity is covered by a crude hockey mask, wielding several tools at his disposal, along with his thirst for the cat and mouse chase. Yet you'll notice that he's the only killer without any range attacks. Because of this, though, he's also the fastest killer in the game.
has a crazy
Another thing
hitbox.
is, if you look at all of his abilities,
Swing from across
you'll
the
see
map.
quotes here. Make them remember. No place to hide. It'll be easier for you than it was for him. Kill them. All of these are being said by his mother. Which, yeah, in the movies and in the Friday the 13th game, it is actually Jason's mom that fuels his rage and need for vengeance. Yeah, a quick lore about Jason is he once used to be in Camp Crystal Lake until he would accidentally drown, but then come back to life and seek revenge on those who did him wrong. Yeah, and just like John Doe, he gets a huge buff whenever the date is Friday the 13th. Unfortunately,
Stupid
though,
buff.
Jason is soon to be replaced by another killer called Slasher. This is due to copyright reasoning, though it seems like
Ooh.
Slasher may look and play very similarly to the current Jason we know, Nullie.
Bro,
So
they're just gonna give him a new name and maybe, yeah, look like throw a hood on him or something. Cause you can't, man, one thing about Roblox is it's so free that you can literally like, can anybody tell me, is SpongeBob Tower Defense, that game, is that game made by any Nickelodeon associates, or are they just literally using the SpongeBob IP like as they please? Because I remember Shinobi Life before it was Shindo Life. Yeah, if you know, you know. If you was playing back then, you was playing back then. But that was like a crazy peak in Roblox with the Rel brothers, and thereby when Rel Seas drop, I'm playing that game all day on stream on my Cozy Blocks channel. No cap. But what was my point? Yeah, bruh. Listen, man, inspired skins and inspired games, bro. I don't see nothing wrong with it. If anything, it keeps the memory and image and likeness of whatever they're trying to, take inspiration from alive.
Nullie is the new up-and-coming killer of Forsaken. It's actually based on the old popular urban legend, in which back in 2010, if you went on Roblox and typed in Nullie, there would be this account called the same name, but what was strange about it is that there was no Roblox character tied to it. On the location/last scene, instead of giving a date or time, it would just say question mark.
What in
and
the
when
world?
you try to click on the Nullie account, it would take you back to the Roblox homepage. Yet it was a very strange phenomenon that was happening that a lot of people started theorizing what was going on with Nullie, some even putting weird text such as Nullie will return. Yeah, there's even cults based off of this whole myth thing. Yeah, Nullie is actually deemed to be one of the first myths in all of Roblox. But in the world of Forsaken, Nullie was actually an exploiter who worked alongside 7 and 7.
Yeah,
Together they would hack and cause trouble all across Robloxia, but then one day 7 and 7 would pressure Nullie to take the Void Star. Now this Void Star was actually said to help Roblox admins, but to Nullie, it was turned against him. Nullie would become corrupt by this Void Star, and now all Nullie wants is revenge against 7 and 7. Guess 666. So this is actually my favorite upcoming killer. Guess 666 is actually based off of the iconic Roblox
I
myth.
definitely want to play versus that. I'm juking the heck out of him. His hitboxes better be super tiny because of how big he is. If not, his character's gonna be broken because of how big he is. His hitboxes are gonna be ridiculous. Maybe his moves will be, I don't know, who knows.
Of the same name, where people thought that there was an account called Guess666 that could have admin powers in any game they joined, and that they also had the ability to ban anyone they wanted. In the world of Forsaken though, Guess666 was an average Roblox player. Yeah, they were actually best friends with Noob, but unfortunately though, something would happen that would tear them apart from each other. Yeah, it was actually revealed that something extremely bad would happen
Noob
that would
snitch.
just completely end their friendship. Noob would actually try to apologize to Guest666. You can actually find his letter here. It reads, "Hey Guest, it's been a while. I have no idea if this will ever get to you, but hopefully it does. Can we somehow meet again? I regret so many things, and recent events have made me realize some things about myself." And then there's a lot of blocked out text here. "Why you disappeared? I was the one who hurt you." The rest of the letter is unreadable. It's blotted out. Yeah, so unfortunately, this letter would never actually make it to Guest666, because unbeknownst to Noob, Guest666 would get banned by Builderman. The Spectre would then forsaken Guest666 and transform him into this monstrosity. Yet his original form is more so supposed to look like this. Despite all this though,
It's just the baseball
Guest666
cap.
does regret everything that happened between him and Noob, but unfortunately Noob doesn't know what happened to him and thinks that they abandoned him. It's why Noob is often looking sad or distressed. Some facts about Guest666 is that he's actually jealous of Guest1337, often thinking to himself, why can't I be like you? And then when Guest666 sees Noob in the world of Forsaken, he says, that can't be them, my best friend? Azour.
No.
So Azour is another upcoming killer.
I can't wait
with
for
another
Azour.
very
Azour gonna be
tragic
crazy.
backstory. Yeah, they were part of a cult that worships the spawn, which is the belief in the ability to respawn or resurrect through it. But someone else that was also in this cult was Two Time. Yeah, the two of them would actually be best friends, but then something would end up happening. Something very tragic. See, Two Time would become very obsessed with the spawn, often thinking that they were hearing voices, and it got to a point that one day, Two Time took Azour to an isolated area and betrayed them. Yeah, Two Time would end up losing their mind, clearly devoted to the spawn, and they thought that sacrificing Azour would allow them to resurrect. And when Two Time did eventually wake up in the world of Forsaken, they technically did resurrect, and this does play with Two Time's mind. Azour would also wake up in the world of Forsaken, but this time as a monster filled with hatred towards Two Time. But at the same time, he also misses the good times he had with them. An interesting fact about Azour is that he likes to study plants, with his favorite flower being a nightshade, which funny enough, this flower actually represents danger and betrayal. This same flower, aka the nightshade, can actually be found in the milestone skin for Two Time. Another thing is, before they were stuck in the world of Forsaken, Two Time and Azour were actually confirmed to be a couple. And then another thing about Azour is that he was actually banned from from his local Burger King for attacking one of the employees because they ran out of mozzarella fries. Doombringer. So Doombringer is another upcoming
I don't know, I never heard of this
with
one.
an interesting backstory. Yeah, he's actually based on the real-life Mr. Doombringer, who's been a Roblox employee since 2013. But in the world of Forsaken, Doombringer is a former super moderator for Roblox that has since fallen from grace and turned to the dark side. Yet in the lore, Doombringer would view the other Roblox employees like Builderman and Shaletsky as corrupt and too merciful on punishments towards hackers and rule breakers, and thus Doombringer took it upon himself to punish others. Yet he would become delusional on his beliefs as they began to corrupt them. Now in the world of Forsaken, with the influence of the Spectre, he sees himself as true justice. He now works with a mysterious figure only known as Darkheart. This mysterious person is actually the one that created the Void Star. Yet there's a lot more upcoming killers as well as some more lore hidden within their skin, so if you want to look more into it, let me know in the comments down below.
Oh man, Forsaken, what an interesting game and lore. Let me know what you guys thought of the video down below in the comments. Make sure you follow my Cozy Block channel. It's in the homepage of my Just Cozy channel. That's where I'll be playing Roblox and streaming from now on. So if you haven't already tapped in, go ahead and tap in. And thank you guys so much for watching. I'll see you next one. Peace out.